Welcome to the Senior Roundtable, brought to you by the Community Services Department for the City of Chula Vista. Today's episode, we're going to have some fun with you. We talked about how important food scarcity is, especially at this time. Now that food that we're delivering to your home, we're going to have some fun and some great recipes from Chef Ryan from the Flip Kitchen and our host, one of the best coffees Chula Vista offers, Brew Bar, the Brew Bar.
Aaron, what's up, man? Want some coffee? Hey, why don't we go ahead and have a seat over here and I'll just bring over some coffee and we can chat.
Perfect.
Okay. Whenever ready.
Chula Vista family and friends, welcome back to the Senior Roundtable. We are sitting here at the Brew Bar with owner Alex McDaniel, who's been part of the 3rd Avenue family since November 2018, correct?
That's right, yep.
Awesome. I know I get my coffee here. We thank you for having us today. We know that it is tough times right now, not only in our community, but across the globe. We talked about food scarcity, food being an issue right now with just people out of work. We're asking our senior neighbors, family members to stay home because they're the most vulnerable population at this time. So we get a chance, not only the city, but the county, and just tremendous people in the community are going out and getting food to the people that need it. And so with that, we thought it'd be a great idea. We thought it would be a great idea to be able to come up with some recipes so that our family and friends can do something a little bit different. And we have nothing but time at home right now, so we can definitely try that out. And I know Ryan's getting ready in the kitchen, but I wanted to thank you for having us. Now, with it being such tough times, it's nice to see that something like the Brew Bar is still open. That's correct?
Yeah, that was probably the most important thing that it went through my mind when all of this started happening. How can we stay open? How can I continue to take care of my employees? How can I continue to take care of the community? There's going to be a lot of uncertainty. Things are going to change. But I work in the service industry, and in the service industry, we roll with the punches. So when things change, we are able to adapt really quickly. And so being one of the essential services through this pandemic, I knew that it became an immediate responsibility to adapt as quickly as possible. So we made a bunch of changes in the lounge. The lounge was designed to be sort of a place where people could come together. So that was the core of this business was, hey, bring your friends, bring your family. You can have coffees, teas, beers, or wines. It doesn't matter, whatever, you feel comfortable, relax, to be a community lounge space. And that, of course, was the first thing that had to change, right? The core of the business had to change with this pandemic. Yeah. So we have done everything possible to remain open. We've followed all of the CDC guidelines, everything that we've been staying up to date with what's happening with the state and the federal levels of response to this issue. And so we started off by of course, all of the cleaning procedures, and then we reduced the amount of people that were allowed into the space. We had an entire sort of area where we're walking and that would keep people social distanced. And then we've now gone all the way down to service at the window. So now all of this space that we're enjoying, that the two of us get to enjoy here now, is now just sort of backdrop to window service. And it's been very successful. We are absolutely enamored with being able to continue serving the community.
Absolutely, and one of the things that I noticed that I'm sure many others do, especially your regulars, is that I saw businesses come together. So a lot of business owners have gotten together to better serve our community, not just with getting your coffee and your morning pick-me-up, right? But also getting that lunchtime and that dinner time.
Yes. And
there's so many workers that that's their living. So I understand as an owner how difficult it is and the emotional stress of letting them have to go with workers or not enough business, but I saw how great it was to see a lot of the business owners get together, because if I got a chance to visit Three Punk Sales, I saw that they had promotions that you were having and vice versa. And I saw the cross-marketing, and that's how I knew that the ownerships were getting together, and that was a great thing to see, and I'm sure that that will continue post. But that's one thing I noticed, just how you guys have gotten together. I don't know if you wanted to elaborate on that.
Absolutely. We immediately turned to one another because we are a community, and on Third Avenue it feels very much like family. And so we started talking right away with one another and immediately supporting one another. So we started crossing the street, buying our drinks next door, buying our food across the street, and seeing how the contacts that we all had, we could pool that together and help each other sort of expose Third Avenue and the fact that we're continuing to stay open. So it was fantastic, to be able to in the face of everything that we're dealing with, to come closer together with some of my fellow business owners here on Third Avenue, especially being the new kid on the block.
Yeah, and also I think for me it's exciting just to leave the house, right? So to have something that was routine is important, and I'm sure a lot of your regulars are continuing, but it's nice to have some of the shops open, because Third Avenue is special. It's downtown Chula Vista. It's somewhere you can get breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can get some good coffee, have a good night out with your friends, get a haircut. You can do a lot of things on Third Avenue. It's a one-stop shop, so it's fun to watch. Now, when it comes to seniors, I think the connection here made sense because you have a little bit of experience with seniors, right?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, my mother opened a business here in Chula Vista after working for Sharp for about 13 years. She opened a home care facility for elderly, and I was able to help her with opening that business and then work in the business. And one of my responsibilities was basically, entertainment, interacting, and maintaining activities for our residents at that facility. And so I learned really quickly, kind of what works and what doesn't. And I've always been really comfortable with older generations. I'm nostalgic at heart for a time period I never lived in, but but I really do. I respect. I was raised to respect my elders, and I respect the history that they lived through, and the stories I got to hear really changed my perspective on life. And so even back then, while I was working and helping my mother in her facility, I did have other work that I was doing on the side, and one of the other gigs that I had was I was working at Just Java Cafe. And this was before it was just a celebration hall. So it was a coffee shop, lunch place by day, and a celebration hall at night. And so when I was there, we established something. Well, this first talking some years back, but it was called the Daytime Nightclub. Where we invited the senior community, including the community at my mom's facility. Everybody would pack into a van and we would come down, and for lunch we would sort of put on a show, and just sort of we would reach out to the other communities in the area and invite people to come and enjoy. I grew up watching those long commercials about the Dean Martin variety show, and so that's what I was trying to emulate. Was just come out, introduce people with a microphone, tell a few cheesy jokes, and it was a lot of fun. And so I remember back then that sensation of Chula Vista really being a special place that caters not just to one age group. And we know there's a lot of changes that's been going on Third Avenue, so there's a lot of places that are attracting different age groups now.
That's right.
And so it's beautiful to see that Third Avenue is adapting, but still being mindful that we are an all ages community.
Absolutely, and I think I consider the Norman Park Senior Center to be part of the Third Avenue family, and we have seniors literally right next door. And it's important for us that, you just said that a lot of breweries, a lot of businesses are opening. We want to make sure that the community doesn't feel like we're just catering to one age group. And that idea, I think, is a great idea to possibly bring back. And I say that because isolation is one of the topics that we had discussed before, but we need to make sure that we go out of our way to get the senior in our lives out of their home. We need them to stay engaged. We need to reach out to them. So something like that, I think, would be something that's necessary right now, because they need to socialize. Socialization is extremely important because we need them to stay engaged. Some of them are widowed, some of them, their kids live somewhere else. So we don't want them to feel alone. We need to make sure that we give them an excuse to get out of that home. And so I think that could have some potential to bring back.
Yeah.
I mean, we do see a lot of the things come back, right?
I fully agree with you. I know that we have a theater here on 3rd Avenue too. And I think one of the important things to keep in mind while we're moving forward and growing as a community is to stay respectful of the things that worked in the past, because we do experience crossover in generational gaps.
Yeah.
So we have people who are less technologically inclined. So maybe everyone's on a Zoom family call, and that becomes a difficult thing for some of the people that are a little bit more distant from the family. And so, or that just haven't really embraced that. Where's the old telephone? How about the TV?
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things I think to consider when we're offering options for people to be able to go out and enjoy themselves. And I think that keeping in mind the fact that things like very similar, just simple things like live music, jazz, something that's cross-generational is important, and that still respects the history that we have here on 3rd Avenue.
Well, another connection that we had made, we hosted our first senior art show, which became a hit. We with your buddy Rich Walker,
Really?
on 3rd and Art, and it was just an amazing show. And I know that immediately following our COVID-19 stay-at-home orders, that we could follow up with the second, as it was already planned out. So we're looking forward to that. And like you said, look for the cross-generational projects that we can do. And I think that's another example of, we'll be doing an art segment soon on how to do that at home. But the family feel is important. Alex, what do you expect post-COVID for Brew Bar in 3rd Avenue, Chula Vista?
Post-COVID, there is a beautiful
Can we get there yet?
Yes. What a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to get there, and I know that we're going to get into this new area of interaction that, because COVID, despite it being this intense challenge and this real tragic sort of thing that's been affecting everybody, it really has been teaching us where the weak links in our chain are. And so we're able to look and see what we can do better in the face of anything else that might happen in the future. And so as business owners, we're going to be able to be more responsive in the case of an emergency in the future. So really, I mean, we're digging for those silver linings, but we'll find them. And what I see post-COVID is to be able to return to the original vision at least that we had here at Brew Bar. So we didn't open up to be another coffee shop or another tea house or just another beer spot, or a wine bar. We opened up with the vision of being a community lounge. And that's what I'd like to get back to, and I do have a lot of optimism for that.
Yep.
I think we're going to see things like families coming in and enjoying themselves here, playing puzzles, maybe enjoying. We have instruments. We hang up on the wall behind me. You might see the guitar. That's tuned and ready for anybody who knows how to play guitar to grab and play guitar. We have we have all kinds of different things that are interactive, and we really like to generate crosstalk at the bar. So people come up, they ask questions, and we always had a sign up that said, "Say hello to somebody new today."
It's a great idea.
And that's really what this place is about. It's about letting everybody come in and feel comfortable in a lounge environment, something that isn't clubby, something that isn't just a bar, but something that is definitely is going to continue to help the community come together and grow together.
Yeah, and I see that. I knew that since the minute I walked in. I saw a chess game, a really interesting chess game one day. I walked in between a grandfather and I assume his grandson. And it's just nice to see that. It's nice to see the bonding effect. I see college students. I see couples coming with their pets. I know you're pet friendly, so that's important too. But one of the amazing things, and if you're a coffee connoisseur, is to be able to see how you guys make the coffee, and that's what makes this different. But we're glad you've stayed open, Alex. I think I want to invite everybody. Hey, Brew Bar is still open. What days are you guys still open?
So our hours are Tuesday through Sunday, about 10-ish to about 8-ish. And we believe in the ish because life happens.
That's right. Well, I welcome everybody. I want to invite you to Brew Bar. Come say hello to Alex McDaniel, who's been here since 2018. Come visit 3rd Avenue, Chula Vista. And hey, let's leave on something that Alex mentioned today. Try to say hi to somebody new today. Thank you.
Hey Ryan. Hey, well, we're excited here. We know you were in the back getting ready with some of these ingredients while I was up here talking with Aaron. So we're excited to see what you chose to work with first from the box.
Yes, as you can tell from the dish, we started with the spaghetti. We went ahead and used the tomato sauce and then incorporated some of our own vegetables like the chopped onion, the Roma tomato, and then the green pepper. We also went ahead and added a little bit of mint, freshly chopped, put it on top of the sauce, and we added some ground basil and thyme. Also, to give a little bit of oomph to the pasta, we added some mozzarella cheese just so it can melt a little bit perfectly as we were pan frying the pasta.
That sounds good. So what's the name of this dish?
This is a pan fried pasta garnished with some Italian parsley.
Fantastic. Why don't you give that a hold up there and I'll come in with this. That looks really good. Okay, well, we're excited to see what the next dish will be, and we'll see you then.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks. All right, welcome back, Ryan.
Hello. Thank you.
It was exciting seeing you set up the table for the next round.
Nice.
So we see you made a couple of other selections from the box. Can you start with that, please?
Yes, so we went ahead and decided we were going to go ahead and use the instant oatmeal, which is the maple and brown sugar packages.
Oh, interesting.
And then it came with some regular milk, this dairy, low-fat, 1% milk. And then since we are Flip Kitchen and our whole concept is making things vegan for our vegan people out there, we went ahead and used a little bit of ripple milk just to emphasize that that's what Flip is all about.
Oh, that's fun. All right, and then I noticed that there seems to be some fruit on top of this dish. Where did that come from?
That came from also inside of the box of these plums. So what we did, we went ahead and just threw them on top.
Alrighty. Well, and then you've got, just like the last dish, I'm sure you had some other ingredients that you added to the recipe.
That's right, Alex. We went ahead and used just some quick egg just to, fluffy out the batter for the pancakes. Went ahead and put some regular all-purpose flour, and then again we're gonna spread on top of the dish some maple syrup.
Oh, that looks fantastic. Alrighty, and so this, you're calling this dish?
This is our oatmeal and plum pancakes.
Fantastic. I'm gonna come in for that zoom in here if you want to help me by holding that up. That looks wonderful. Thanks so much. I can't wait to taste that. Alrighty. Well, and we'll see you. You have one more dish in mind for us?
I think so.
All right. Fantastic. We'll see what else we can come up with. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Actually.
All right. Welcome back. We've got another dish prepared from one of the items in the box. And which item was that you chose from the box for this round?
So this time we just went ahead and grabbed the rice that was inside of the box. Then we went ahead and cooked that, pre-cooked. And then after that, we went ahead and used some of our vegetables that we had from our own kitchen, like the yellow squash, the mushroom, and the chopped onions. And we also chopped a little bit of spinach. And then we just garnished with some little cherry tomatoes.
It's fantastic. I see you've got the olive oil there.
Oh yes, of course. We need to put some oil on there before we fry it all together.
Tyrell, I like that the ingredients that you're choosing to add are ingredients that are easily found in most kitchens.
Yeah.
So what is the name of this dish?
This was gonna be the mushroom, spinach, and rice.
Fantastic.
Buttered rice.
All right.
Forgot to mention that we also use a little bit of vegan butter, just so we can, emphasize what we do here at Flip.
Just flip it vegan.
Flip it vegan.
No problem. Alrighty, well, I'm just gonna get a close up of this because this looks so good. Yeah, that's really looking delicious. Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for working with Aaron and I and trying to get some ideas rolling with what else can be done with these ingredients that are coming in this box.
It's been my pleasure, and I hope you guys enjoy.
It'll be fun. Thanks.
Hello, Chula Vista. I have a little bit of good news to share for you today. Beginning on Friday, we will be easing some of the restrictions on our city parks. So we will be opening the parks for running, for jogging, for even kicking a ball around if that's what you want to do. But our fields and our playground equipment will be off limits. But I hope you can enjoy this time in the park. It's so necessary for all of us to get out and get some exercise, especially since the weather is starting to turn so pretty. So remember, practice social distancing. You will be required to wear a mask at all times when you're in the park. Keep in mind that we still have to be very careful about social distancing, good hygiene, and just all around good common sense to keep ourselves and our community safe. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this bit of good news and sunshine.